Wow, welcome everybody. Sorry about that. My iMac decided that I wanted to do an update 59 seconds before we started. Then I forgot the login details. Absolute nightmare. We've got a minute and we'll be back. Grab a cuppa. Welcome back to Talking Turf. Thanks very much, everybody who's joining with tonight. Oh, Gary, how are you doing, mate?
I'm good, thanks. Yes.
Hey, I'm pleased there's no more international breaks until March.
Oh, tell us about it.
Oh, that is draining. I mean, we beat Ireland 5 now, but for the first half in the canny bit, I thought this is absolutely dire.
Literally, aye. It's not great to watch. Is that not like third one this season already as well?
Aye.
It's no wonder that like half the players is like dropping out on that, because the managers is probably saying to them, "Look, lads, get yourself away and hold it. Sit this one out."
Aye.
You've got Christmas coming up, and that's a busy period. Hire sell a week in Dubai or something like that. Go somewhere nice and hot, relax, and then come back fresh.
Aye. They're just pointless. I mean, they've won the group, so they're gonna go back up into the top group with the top teams and that's great and that. But I don't know. I just didn't get the international football. Me, like it's all these games in between, and if they're gonna do out, they should maybe just let the players have a little bit of time off. You know, with them complaining all the time that they're doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
Giving high extra games in there. Is the Nations League, is that just like the count towards where you are? You know, like
I think it's just a spinner just to get more games in it and just more money, isn't it? Because they're not playing any less like Premier League games. They're still playing all your cup matches. You're still playing the European competition. It's just extra games for money, isn't it? That's what it is.
Aye. Mental. Absolutely mental. But a good win. We beat the Irish. Apparently that was hell on with the fans afterwards, which you probably expect, to be fair, like.
Was that?
Aye. You know what? I just hope this has worked properly, Gary, because none of me banners I know are coming up on the side. Honestly, you know what it is. Somebody said to us, "Get Apple." It's the worst thing I ever did. Honestly. Right, Gary. So we didn't work on last week because obviously you were away with the boys. I were in Tenerife, but this is how it went last week in the Premier League. Wolves, we'll start with Wolves. Wolves 2, Southampton 0. Sarabia scores, and then Kuna scores. Kuna's a cracking player, to be fair, mate. Honestly.
Yes, he's too good for them.
Aye. I can't see him being there at the end of the season. But the score doesn't really reflect the game. I think it was pretty, even. You can see there, 72% possession for Southampton, away from home. 9 shots on goal for them. So they did quite well, but again, they've come up short, which is again going to leave them,
I think we said that at the beginning of the season, didn't we, after they played Newcastle? They had plenty of the ball at Newcastle, but they just couldn't put the ball in the net. They were playing against, obviously, 10 men for the majority of that game, and Newcastle didn't win it because they need a goal scorer, but they haven't got one.
Aye.
Not good enough for the Premier League anyway.
No. And I wouldn't care. Southampton normally like grind them, they get loads of talent, and I don't know if that's changing now or what, or they've gone backwards. I wouldn't like to see it, but It's not looking good for them. It's definitely not looking good for them. Good 3 points for Wolves, though, mate. They needed that.
Well, they both did, really. I mean, they're the bottom 2 teams in the league, aren't they? So that puts Wolves above them now on 6 points. But I think I took Wolves on that one. I'm sure you went Southampton, didn't you?
I fancy Southampton.
But I think they're both going to struggle then.
West Ham nil, Everton nil. I think we probably both went for a draw on that one, to be fair.
I think we did pick quite a few draws, if I remember right.
Aye. We'll click on it, although it seems like it's pretty boring. Everton having the more shots, but West Ham getting more on target. Everton with the most possession. Aye. 0-0. Boring 0-0 draw. Moving on to... here. I'll just keep it on the screen, actually, because it keeps knocking it off.
Yeah.
Brentford 3, Bournemouth 2. Let's just have a quick look here, Gary. Let's have a quick look. I'll get the... So where were Brentford? Brentford 3, Bournemouth 2. Evan Nielsen opens the scoring for Bournemouth. Wissath scores for Brentford. Clyburn gets one after the second half, just kicks off. 2-1 Bournemouth. But then Brentford, as they do at home, quite regular, come back and win the game 3-2. Damsgaard and Wisser again scoring and seeing the game out. 3 points again for Brentford.
Looks like it was a decent game. And they're 2 teams that they try and play football, don't they? I mean, Bournemouth were coming off the back of a good result against Man City. But I like that about them 2 teams in particular, because they do try and take the game to anyone that they play. I mean, we're seeing them obviously they've come to Old Trafford, like Brentford, and they do try. They'll have a go, so they didn't leave any stadium without giving it a go at least. And I like that,
Now they're sitting in 11th, just outside the top 10. Bournemouth, to be fair to them, are sitting just a point behind them in 12th. Mm-hmm. So it looked like a good game. And it turned out to be a good game. Crystal Palace 0, Fulham 2. Obviously, Palace got a man sent off, but that was later on after, they were a goal down by Smith Rowe scores for them. Smith Rowe has a goal disallowed in the second half. Kamara gets sent off for Palace. Dunhill struggle after that, isn't it? And then Harry Wilson scores for Fulham, making it 2-0 to Fulham. Fulham now sitting 7th, and Crystal Palace are sitting 3rd bottom.
Smith Rowe's he looks like he's been a good signing for Fulham, doesn't he? I think he's picked up a canny few goals now. Good little player, and I think all he wanted was just game time. He's still playing in London, so he looks like he's enjoying it doing that. Getting minutes, isn't he?
He's definitely a player. He's there's no doubt about it. He's come through the Arsenal academy. He broke into the Arsenal team. Then a manager texted us I
think he got injured though, didn't he? Did he get injured? That's how he went out. Aye.
But he's definitely a player. He's definitely a player.
No, he is. And I like that about players. I like that about players. Like what he's done there. He was sat on the bench, like what Cole Palmer done. He was sat on the bench and he felt like he could play. And he's not just willing just to sit on the bench and get his medals or whatever, like at City and stuff like that. He wants to play. No, but like Cole Palmer, he'd rather go away and play for a lesser team, but he's playing every week, aye?
Yeah, man, that's what you need to be doing. It's a short career at the end of the day, you know what I mean? So
it is.
You've got to play if you're going to play. If you've got the chance to, you've got to. Billy Noble and Dave Armstrong are both saying, all right, boys. Hello, lads.
All right, boys.
I didn't think I'm getting the, what do you call it, through? But I'll sort that after we've done it. Shock of the week, Gary. Brighton 2. Or is it the shock of the week? Brighton 2, Man City 1. Haaland scores in the first half for City. And then Brighton, João Pedro and O'Reilly make it 2-1 to Brighton. To be fair to Brighton, mate, in the second half, I don't know if you watched the game, but it was coming. It was coming before half time. They started pressing them from the front. If you press City from the front, Love doing it to you. They hated being done to them. And Brighton, played on that. And it was fantastic. It was good to watch. Honestly, I like watching Brighton. But then, they'll go and they'll play somebody boring and they'll draw nails each. You know,
especially away from home.
But
especially away.
They're just at home. They're a different animal, and nobody can go and do there and say guaranteed 3 points
easy.
or even a draw.
No, definitely. I think I actually took Brighton. I'm sure I did. On my podcast, I just think City's like a total different team when they haven't got Rodri. I mean, and so would any team, but I know they bring Kovacic in, they try and Rico Lewis or whatever, they try pushing him through the middle sometimes, or John Stones. But he's just irreplaceable, Rodri, isn't he? So, but they're struggling massively. They're in a bad run.
They're on 4. They've lost 4 off the trot.
That's probably the first time ever for Pep, that.
Man City's got Tottenham at home this weekend now. At last 5 kickoff on Saturday.
So Spurs will be getting fancying that now, maybe, or with a bit of a chance.
They've got Feyenoord in the Champions League through the week, but then they face Liverpool away. And then they've got a couple of easy games after that, but they've got a hard run in December. The first Premier League fixture in December is against, oh no, it's not, on the 15th of December. The mighty United.
Yes.
Morelands United. I want to do them. Second half of the season, we're doing the title charge. Moving on, Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0. I thought that was going to be a closer game than what it was. The scoreline reflects anyway. Núñez scores in the first half. The prolific Mo Salah scores again in the 84th minute. 3 points for Liverpool. Keeps them solid at the top. 5 points ahead of Man City after just 11 games.
We did watch this game, and it was comfortable for Liverpool. It was a comfortable game. Villa didn't really offer much at all. They never looked like they were going to score. If anything, it looked like Liverpool could have probably maybe getting 3 or 4. I thought, but they're going to be
Champions League, Gary.
What's that?
I think Villa's actually struggling now, with the Champions League. They're finding
because we said that they've maybe got a good start in 11. Once you can start dipping into that squad, if you pick up a couple of injuries or people start getting tired and you're trying to mix it, you try to start mix the squad up a little bit. They haven't got the quality to come in to replace them. And we always thought that would be the case, didn't we?
Aye. And it's proven the case now. I mean, he's a good manager, but you cannot fight fatigue. If Newcastle for last year,
and us.
Aye, you've got to have as good on the bench as what you have playing, and you've got to get them. You've got to
1,000,000%.
You've got to pick your wins. You know what I mean? And they're not doing it. They're not doing
otherwise, you end up with injuries like what us and Newcastle did last season. If you remember how many injuries we had, at the turn of the year, we didn't have a back 5. Newcastle had a lot of injuries because he wasn't changing his team, and that's the difference.
It is. Moving on down to Old Trafford, Manchester United 3, Leicester City 0. Bruno Fernandes scores in the 17th minute. Assisted by Diallo. Diallo. I'm a Diallo. He is a magician. He comes from Ivory and he can play. Where does he play? Down Sir Mad Busby Way. Diallo. Yeah,
was that Melvin's song? Was that Melvin's song?
Melvin singing it in front of us, and then I've obviously put them things in, sent it to Pete Boyle and Davey Blackhall, and I will love it. Get it down in the pubs, and then once it's in the pubs, it's one of them tunes in it where it's a proper pumper.
Catchy.
I can't wait till it's singing. I can't wait till it's in the stadium and that. Honestly, mint. And then Garnacho scores. Gary, what do you make of this? Scores an absolute blinder. Doesn't celebrate. And it's apparently because of one fan. But apparently him and his brother are spending a lot of time on social media. And they're reading all the negativity and all that shit. You're always going to get that, aren't you? Do you agree with him not celebrating? Or do you think, look, stop being a little spoiled brat, listening to one fan? It's the same in life, isn't it? You know, like, you just be you, and 50% of people will like you, and 50% of people will not like you. But that's just life. You cannot
Didn't try and change the 50% that didn't. Just be who you are.
Just be ye, and enjoy what you're doing.
Well, that's it. He's got the best job in the world. If he's reading stuff online and it's affecting him, then he's stupid, because like
he's been managed by that, doesn't he?
1,000,000%. But that's like modern day football now, is because they think they Mr. Know that all the time. The young ones coming through, or most of them do anyway, and they think that they don't need guidance. That's the way it comes across, and they've got that arrogance about them where they don't, like, they need to listen, like, and especially for things like that. But no, I mean, if he's upset about someone and he doesn't celebrate, then fair play. Do what you want. No. Good goal though.
Excellent goal. For me, it needs to be Garnacho starting with Diallo. You know, like, that's our strongest team, I think. You need a Rashford or Rasmus up front, because Rashford on his day, mate. I think we're going to see a different animal with this Ruben. He hasn't come in and went, where Man United? You know, like, he's went, look, he's a 13th, and that reflects where he's at. You know, like, as a club, you're 13 for a reason. Like, we need to first enjoy football. It's been a massive thing, what he's saying. You need to enjoy your football, enjoy what you do. And when you enjoy what you do, your game will be so much better. And it's right. Whereas other man, I don't know, I just feels different with this kid. He doesn't seem like he's got like this like aura of, look at me, I'm Man United manager. He's just a normal kid who's played at a pretty decent level, but finished playing quite early because he thought he would be a better manager than he ever was a player. And he started off at like this small club. He didn't even have his coaching badges. And they put like the Fundut, but he got them promoted. And the other teams Fundut, so then they pushed to get him done. So he walked from that club. And then his new club come in and they made him assistant manager, even though he was the manager, and he got them promoted. And it was the same at Sporting as well. He was actually the assistant at Sporting before he was the manager. And then he done his badges for an island. But every time he gets into the club, he seems to be like bringing them back up. And that's because his man management is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and that comes across, doesn't it? Like he comes across like a likable fella. Not like I think that was the issue with Ten Hag. I think in the end, I think he was losing the dressing room because he has got like that arrogance about him. Whereas rather than trying to, if you get into that job and you think like the people that say have been there before you, same players, like some of them anyway, and you think these are getting rid of like 3 or 4 like very good managers, you should get in with a different mindset. I think thinking I want these on my side, so like I'll manage them properly, speak them properly, not hang them with in the media, and he didn't, and that's why I think it cost him.
And who was the last manager that was successful through man management first and talent second?
Bobby Robson?
Sir Alex. He was massive on that, mate. He was huge. He was like, he looked after his players. He would turn up like 8 o'clock at night when they weren't expecting it. Knock on the door, go in, have a cup of tea, have a big crack with the family, play with the kids. You know, like, that's what he did. And they give everything for it. And I've got that feeling about him. When you seen the video of him, he was shaking everybody's hand, the cleaner, the kitchen, the chef, the whole lot. He went and surprised loads of people in the one or two at Old Trafford in wax, like the Manchester United manager. And he's telling them, you're on the bench, you're starting, you're on the bench. You know what I mean? Like, that's different straight away for me. You know, like it is. And I'm looking forward to it. I'll be at Ipswich on Sunday. Are you coming?
Nah.
Moving on, let's go down to Hooterland. Nottingham Forest. It looked like obviously they were flying. They were sitting third in the league. They get a goal before half time. Anthony Elanga again assisting Murillo. But then Newcastle come with the second half. Excellent team talk from Eddie Howe. Got to have been. And they absolutely blast Forest away. First Isaac, then Joe Linton, and then War Young and Harvey Barnes finishing it off. An assist from Tonali, by the way. Isaac assisted Joe Linton. He's a weapon, him, like that Isaac. He is a weapon, honestly. If Newcastle haven't got him in the team, they struggle to score goals. Yeah, I'm not saying he's a Rodri, right? I'm not saying that because Newcastle's got a few good players. But what I'm saying is he's a massive, massive miss when he's not playing.
I think with him, he's one of them, though, isn't he? He's like, it's obviously his fitness for him, because he's that fucking like fine tuned, isn't he? He's like, because he's absolutely rapido, but he's like deed skillful, and he seems to always make like good decisions, and he creates a lot. But I feel like he's one of them players that's he's kind of always going to have them injuries. I think. He's gonna be like hamstrings and stuff like that because of the way he is. He's like a Gareth Bale, isn't he? Like he's got that like burst, but excellent player. But you're right. Like Newcastle did the second half, they come up because how could have happened in that game? I mean, Forest could have run away with it, but they come in the second half and they absolutely ripped them to bits. And it was a good game to watch.
Aye, it was and it's not easy. It's not easy going to Forest. It's a hard going to Gante. And obviously they're flying. So I've got to give Newcastle a bit of credit this week because that's an absolutely fantastic result. Especially when a week earlier, a lot of them were like Eddie out. You know, like in that week they went and beat Arsenal, Chelsea, and then Forest. You know, like hats off, well done. Let's see what this weekend brings. I mean, we're going to look at the fixtures, but they've got West Ham at home this weekend. I'm sure it's an early kickoff or a late kickoff. I can't remember. But well done. Quickly flick through these before we get into the last two fixtures. Billy Noble saying that Brighton were outstanding and also that Villa struggled. And that's why, for me, Howe has a free hit until we have 14 or 15 £40 million players. Go on, Little Melly's tune. Oh, I hope it kicks off, Dave. Honestly, I do.
It is good, like.
Little Melly Barnes created that. Little Melly Barnes. Ari lad says, Smiley, hello, Smiley lad.
Hello, Smiley, all right, man.
Least he can get used promoted. It's Billy Noble, obviously on it the morum. Hula man. Get it. When fully fit, Isaac is top three. I agree with you.
Totally agree.
The problem is, if he's a different recruiter, he's can't recruit. Will he stay or will he move? Because when you're banging goals in like that, you're attracting attention. So you either build around them or you lose them. That's the way it's gonna be. Monday 8 o'clock. I knew it was a weird one. I didn't know it was either early or late on. But it's late on Monday night, so that makes up our mind, Gary. For do you have the bench training on a Tuesday?
It's been moved from a Tuesday. Actually, it's on a Friday now.
So we'll do next Tuesday. Aye.
After
the Toon game. Champion. Right. Another result, which I don't think many expected. It actually won me the last man standing for the Over Elton development squad because everybody picked Spurs. And they went and got beat off Ipswich. I'm saying it was surprising, but on a few occasions this year, Ipswich could have had this kind of result against good teams. They've been winning, and they've always chucked it away. This time, obviously, they're 2-0 up at half-time. Smodics and Delap again, who's scoring for fun. Tottenham have a goal disallowed just after half-time, and then Bentancur scores for them. But Ipswich hold out this time, and they take all 3 points. back down to Portman Road. A good win, a much needed win, I think, because took them out of the relegation zone and are sitting 4th bottom now. Spurs are sitting in 10th. Very, very surprised at that result, Gary. What about you?
Like you say, that Delap, he's been class. Another City prodigy, isn't he? I'm sure he come through the ranks at Man City. But he looks a good player, good goal scorer. They need someone like that. That's probably what Southampton need, is someone like that. Definitely, but he knows where the net is. Him. I think we watched a couple of games, didn't we?
Aye. We were in O'Neill's, weren't we? He was against
he was really good that game. He could have had a lot more.
Mm-hmm. But if he's scoring in a team like that, again, then
imagine what he'd do like a club.
Aye, absolutely. It's a surprise. Chelsea won, Arsenal won, dusting off the Premier League fixtures from last week. Are you surprised at this result, or did you? I honestly thought Chelsea were going to go for the jugular, and I thought they had. Honestly, I mean, Arsenal have a goal disallowed in the first half through Kai Havertz. Martinelli scores, and then Neto is a cracking player, by the way. Honestly,
mint buy, excellent buy,
mint, absolutely mint. Like everybody that's signed for Chelsea, and they've signed some stars. I think little old Neto from Wolves is probably one of the better signings, mate.
You know who else I think's good for Chelsea? Him, that Marawiki that's been playing for England.
England, aye.
He's very good. Him, like I like him.
Yeah, he's like a Saka. Like, he beats men. No problem with that. He beats them.
He doesn't look like he's running that fast, but it's because he shifts the ball that well, doesn't he? Like, he looks like he's going to go one way, but then switches to the other. He just glides, like, with the ball, I think. He's really good, I think. Really good.
Diallo is like him, isn't he?
Aye.
I think Diallo, like, he's class with the ball. He's just got this, like, I don't know.
The new manager, I like him, because he's a team player.
Let's see if I can move this hour. Table. No, I don't think I can. I'm trying to move the league table hour. See if I can move us. Put me there. Boom, there you go. So this is how the league table looks like after week 11. You've got Liverpool sitting top, nice and rosy, 1-9, drawn 1 and lost 1. Man City chasing them, 5 points behind them. Then you've got finishing the top 6, Chelsea, Arsenal, Forest and Brighton, all on 19 points. Then we dropped down to Fulham and Newcastle and Villa, all on 18. And then you've got Tottenham, Brentford on 16, Bournemouth and United on 15. And then down the bottom, West Ham on 12, Leicester 10, Everton 10, Ipswich 8, Crystal Palace 7, Wolves 6, Southampton only 4 points so far. Playing 11, won 1, drawn 1, and lost 9. Man United are in a relegation battle here, like. Jesus. We need this Amorim to come in and just be like, because that's unbelievable reading that. Absolutely unbelievable reading, isn't it?
We're just waiting on the click, man, aren't we? It'll click.
Oh, it'll click. One day. Hopefully. Fuck. Hey. That's mental, that. More matches. Let's have a look. Yes. Am I back on there now? Yes. Excellent. Your Amanda's on saying evening, lads. Hello, Amanda.
Evening.
I said a few weeks ago, I think Ipswich will be safe. I think they're going to be in a relegation battle right up until the end, maybe, Billy.
Aye. They're just above, like hovering there, aren't they? But
aye. And they're not going to get
What are the teams doing there? Like, I'd like to see Poliscan doing it. The one of them sides I just didn't like.
Nah.
I just didn't like
it. 1 out of 700 signings. Has to be good. Gary, we've got absolutely loads on here. The Night Walk kid.
Oh,
Ryan, talking turfs on the up. Yeah.
I didn't spoil it.
2 minutes and 42 seconds. Go and grab a drink. See you tomorrow. If you'd like to advertise with us like these following businesses have done, then get in touch with Melly or Gary. It's only $5 a show, and we're hitting on average, I would say, between 10 and 20,000 people per month. Support us, and we'll help support you. Melly's Carpets and Bed, 63 Station Road in Ashington. Free measures are available daily. You can call 01670 632216 or find us on Facebook. Melly's Carpets and Beds. Laying our reputation, one recommendation at a time. BA Commercials and Northeast Metals Limited, where you can get almost any used car part. The best prices is paid here for scrap vehicles and metals. They have containers to rent short and long term from just £30 per week, as well as plant hire and also commercial buildings for rent. Call during working hours on 07825 405 772. GB Glazing and Joinery Limited, based in Ashington, Northumberland, but covering the whole of the Northeast. CERTAS approved, who specialise in windows, doors, warm roofs, kitchen, conversions, and conservatories. Call Gary during working hours on 07825 160 777. A1 Fire Stopping and Drilling Services, who specialize in installation and maintenance of passive fire protection, fire stopping, and thermal installation systems. You can email your query to Martin. That's at martin.gallen@a1firestop.co.uk, or call during working hours on 07751 429 045. A1 Fire Stopping Services. Ashington Properties, whose company mission is to create high-quality homes for the local community and Northumberland, and whose company values are transparency, trust, and loyalty. You can email them at ashingtonproperties@gmail.com or call during working hours on 07985 203 094. And last but not least, most cuts. You can call Lewis on 07519 07787. You can find him on Facebook, and you can also book through the Booksy app. You'll find them down in Newbiggin on Front Street, straight opposite Chisholm Bookmakers. Always look fresh when you get cut off Moz. Always look fresh when you get cut off Moz. Right. So let's do our predictions and get involved in the comments and let one know what you think for this weekend, please, folks. We'll start off with Leicester. Leicester are hosting Chelsea in the 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. What are you going for, Gary?
I cannot see anything other than a Chelsea win. I'm going to say 3-1 Chelsea.
You know what I'm going to do? Boom. Predictions, right? Predictions.
But Billy's went the same 3-1 Chelsea.
Melly. And then we can get back on these to see what other people have picked. So you're going for the first game, what?
3-1 Chelsea.
3-1 Chelsea. I'm going to go for 2-1 Leicester.
What did you make? What? What did you make of I don't know if you read it over the back end of the weekend and the one about that Maresca. I quote from a couple of different journalists, in the one about Sancho, and they were saying how they reckon it's took this manager 3 weeks to realise that he's got a shit work ethic and a bad attitude.
Unbelievable. We said it would happen, didn't we?
I know. Aye. It was always going to happen. That he obviously needs to take a good hard look at himself, doesn't he?
He's just like Jesse Lingard, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he?
Aye.
Got the talent, and he's wasting it. That's just what he's doing quickly. We'll come back to these next week, Gary.
Well, remember what we're saying? We're going to ask everyone if they want to join in. We said we'd maybe set like a Super 6 up for the talk and turf. And do like a little league table sort of thing. We should. If any of the lads would be interested in that, like, or lasses.
Aye. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Boom. Happy days. Right. So Billy Noble has gone for 3-1 to Chelsea. Dave Armstrong's gone for a draw. 1-1. Get a spreadsheet. Old man has gone for 2-1 to Chelsea as well. Everybody's kind of leaning towards Chelsea there. I don't know. Leicester's
crap.
Leicester's going to beat them. I really do. Fulham against Wolves.
Fulham against Wolves. I'm going to say Fulham win 2-0.
Fulham win 2-0. I'm going to go for a Desmond Tutu. Wolves got that first win just before the break. And I think that they're going to start finding a bit of form. When they find a bit of form, they do well. You know what I mean? The Wolves is the hard to beat. And I just think it's for draw.
They're not a bad side, Wolves. They're just, I don't know, they're just struggling to get wins, aren't they, really?
Aye. But I can see a draw happening there. So can your man. Actually, your man has gone for ones each. Billy Noble's gone for 2-1 to Fulham. It's hard to get against Fulham, obviously, because Fulham are, they're winning games, they're doing well. I just think it's one of them games. There'll be goals. I just don't think there'll be a winner, in my opinion. Moving on to Everton against Brentford. How do you see that going?
I'm gonna take a 1-1 draw there.
1-1.
1-1.
I think I'm gonna go for. You know what? I'm gonna mirror you. I'm gonna say a 1-1. I was leaning towards Brentford there.
So was that.
Aye. I don't know.
Everton can be a tricky place to guarantee as well.
Uh-huh.
They can, like, if I was going to pick anyone, I would have went towards Brentford, but Everton just at home, they can be a hard cookie.
Yeah. And they've picked up a bit of form, haven't they, to be fair to them, like not losing like they were, so to speak. Both Billy and Amanda have both gone for ones each, mate. Dave Armstrong saying Everton 1, Brentford 2. So he's leaning towards Brentford. They're winning games, so you can see why he's gone for that. Arsenal against Forest.
Comfortable Arsenal win for me. I think that'll be 3-1.
3-1 Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arsenal's had a bit of a dip, haven't they, as well, though?
No, they have. I just think they've got. I just think they've got way too much for Forest. That's all.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to have a 3-0. I don't think Forest will score. I think Arsenal, they're being beat off Newcastle, had a draw against Chelsea. They need a win. And I think it'll be 3-0. Your man has gone for 2-1 to the Arsenal. Billy Noble has gone 3-0 Arsenal. And Dave Armstrong has gone 2-0 Arsenal. So everybody's leaning towards Arsenal. Dave's still in last man standing, actually, for Elton Juniors. I think
so, man.
3 left. Are you?
So, yeah.
Do it for United, son. Come on. Let's beat these fucking toonies. Come on, lad. Bournemouth against Brighton.
That looks like a good game on paper. That I'm
going to now teach.
It's a Zach says it'll be a good game. It's a South Coast cracker, that one. I'm gonna go
Desmond, aren't you?
I'm gonna go 2-2.
I can read your eyes there. I can read them.
It looks like goals.
Desmond's coming, yeah. Desmond 2-2, Gally says.
Yes.
Billy Noble, 2-0 to Brighton. Amanda Webb, 1-1. Oof. Score draw. Aston Villa against Crystal Palace.
I'm going to go on Crystal Palace. No, I'm not. I'm going to go on Villa win 2-1.
2-1. Yeah, I'm going to go on 3-1. Villa turn it on. A little bit of a rest there. Get the main players back in. Bish, bash, bosh. Dave Armstrong went for 2-1 to Brighton. So both Dave and Billy fancying Brighton there. What did he go? Desmond 2-2,
Aye.
2-2. Amanda 2-0 to Villa. Billy Noble 3-1 to Villa. So everybody's leaning towards Villa. Moving on. Man City against Spurs. 5:30 kickoff on the Saturday evening. Dave Armstrong quickly's just gone 1-0 to Villa as well.
All right. I'm going to take Man City and I'm going to say 2-0. 2-0 City.
2-0 City. I'm going to go for 2-1.
Stop the rot.
2-1 to Tottenham. I just can't.
Yes.
I think if any manager's watched the last few City games, then they've got to go out and press Man City.
Mm-hmm.
You've just got to press them. They don't like it. They love doing it, but they don't like it. So, that's what I think they've got to do. And I think Andrew's pretty good at just new managers and formations and stuff. That's one thing that he's like really, really good at, you know.
Yes,
I hope he does well, mate. You know, like he just seems like a really genuine, nice
bloke. No, he is, and he says it how it is. But I just didn't think he's got the players that he can trust to do it with now. I know the like a better team on paper, what the likes of like Bournemouth and that are. But Bournemouth, like their manager, probably trusts every single player that he's got on the pitch to do exactly what he wants them to do, and he knows that they'll do it. I just don't know if he'll get that out with like Spurs, and you, one or two off, and then Man City will just rip through you. We've seen it. Like in the can, you need everyone on the game, and I don't think I trust that with Spurs. Like,
no,
he probably doesn't.
Billy Noble's gone for a draw. Can he draw as well?
3-3. That's a can he draw.
50-1 for that.
Over 5.5.
Both Amanda and Dave Armstrong have both gone for 2s each. 2-0. Sorry. 2-0 to City. Southampton against Liverpool.
I can't see anything other than Liverpool win there. Like I'm going to go 3-0 Liverpool.
3-0 to Liverpool. I'm going to go for 1-0 to Southampton.
Hey. I bet it's not. I bet you haven't got that on your accumulator. Hey, some violent.
Fucker.
You love
Liverpool for some reason. I just think like I did the other week against them when they were against Man City. When they play like the bigger teams, they normally play all right, and they were lucky against City. To be fair, I just hope that turn it on. Honestly, I do, and get the win that they need. It's got to be fun, dude. Both Billy again and Amanda, they must be sitting next to each other because they're picking the same scores. 4-0 to the Bin Dippers, both of them. And Dave Armstrong thinks it will be 3-1 to Liverpool. Right. The only fixture that matters this weekend is Ipswich against Manchester United. How do you see Ruben's Reds doing?
I think it's a hard game. I do think it's a hard game. I don't think it's going to be easy going down there, but I think 6 now, man. You. I'm joking. No, I'm gonna say 3-1.
I'm gonna go for 4 out. No, yeah, I don't know. I just think like
new manager.
We're scoring goals lately. We're scoring goals, so that's been
under Ruud.
Massive problem. New we're scoring goals, so hopefully he comes in. Everybody's like buzzing for him, buzzing with him, and is his pal. It's the opening fixture for him. Give him what he deserves. Like at the end of the day, he's left a mint team, and everybody loved him. See how like he was leaving, like he was proper loved. So it's got to be hard for him. That I just hope he gets off to a good start, and the players do it for him.
Did you see in his interview? And he said you'll see in the first 45 minutes the way that we're trying to play. He says you'll be able to see that. I promise you that.
Yeah,
you'll see a difference. So he's obviously got confidence. Like so, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
He hasn't got as much confidence as Billy. Billy reckons we're going to beat them 12 now.
Gallen's alive.
Gallen's alive. He's alive. I've got a mint video of Gallen. Mint Giffy. 3-0 to United, says Amanda Webb. I love it when Newcastle fans call me United, because that just cements the fact that we're United and they're Newcastle. That's such a sport Newcastle this week.
She not saying Ipswich 3-0 United.
Amanda, confirm.
We need either that or
the Dave Armstrong reckons it'll be 2-1 to Man U. Amanda Webb giving with the middle finger. And Martin Gallen, are you massive again yet? Sorry, been offline for a week. Been mortal for a week. That's what he's been. Yes, reckons Man United 3-0, Gary. Then we'll go off down to St James's Park, which will finish off the Premier League fixtures. Week 12 of 38. Newcastle host West Ham United. How do you see it going, mate?
I cannot see anything other than a Newcastle win. I'm going to say 2-0 Newcastle.
2-0 to Toon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go for 2-2 because
Gallen's back on.
Yeah, the reason I'm going for 2-2 is because obviously Newcastle have had a few players at international break. Yeah. West Ham they'll be up for it. They've had a bit of a rest there. Some of Newcastle's pivotal players have all been away on international duty.
That was mad that they had Livramento and Hall starting. He's a good player at Hall.
I think Newcastle paid 40 million or something for him, though, I'm sure that was a massive release clause.
If he played so many games, I think 30 million, I think, but he looks worth
30
it.
odd million, right? So listen to this, 30 odd million, right? And then they were going to pay up to 70 million nearly for Guy, right? Then they wanted to buy Elanga for 40 million, right? That's 120 million. Where's all this come from? From like where they cannot spend money?
No, it was either one or the other, though, wasn't it?
What do you mean?
Like they couldn't have gotten Gooey and Elanga. It was like the Gooey wasn't happening, so they went for Elanga.
Right. I've got you. Good luck to all that's left in last man. Elton Jr.'s under 8 last man standing.
Cheers, Callan.
Good man. 27 million for Hall. Billy says it was 28. You don't know who to believe. I reckon it was 35. How are you, Melly? Give us some notice when you're coming on live. Up the Geordie Mags. Evening, Gary.
All right, Geordie.
Yeah, it should. I don't understand why it isn't. Because when I put it on and put it out, normally it would come up going live, so I apologise about that. But we're on live next Tuesday. What time, Gary? 7 o'clock?
I will do 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Because then I think there'll be... Then there's probably Champions League starting at the 8th, isn't there?
Aye, that'll do, won't it?
Uh-huh.
Then the Toons obviously played, and all the fixtures are done. So that wraps up. Let's save this. So I've saved that. I'll write all the predictions down up there, see where we're at.
Amanda saying she didn't.
Amanda
saying she didn't get the notification either.
Honestly, you know what? We're lucky to be on because, like I said just before we started, the computer decided to do update, and then it wanted the login details. I couldn't remember the login details when I got back on. And then I had to download Google Chrome onto here because it didn't support the Safari. I thought, honestly, what a time. What a time. Let's just have a quick look here on X.com. 2 seconds.
Crispy, up the Reuben Reds. Go on, Crispy lad.
Are you telling them have you told them the train times yet?
What train?
He's coming to Everton, I think.
Is that? Oh, I wasn't real, was I?
Right, so this is what I'm on about. This is why I think West Ham will get something off Newcastle. NUFC departs Saudi Arabia in style after an unforgettable weekend. So they've been all the way out to Saudi. I mean, it would have been a chill little fly for them, I would have thought. But they've had quite a few out on international duty. And I just think West Ham's going to come up. It's a Monday night, right? It's a Monday night. It's a great time to be playing football, isn't it, to be fair?
Oh, it is, huh?
You know,
really good.
So,
it'll be freezing, like.
Hold on, let's have a look. You might scrape Desmond at Ipswich, says John Ram. Geordie saying champion next Tuesday. Cheers. See, I stuck up for you in the comments the last video did. Some knacker giving you shit. You know what it is? Like a lot of people do, they think that YouTube's our only platform, and like I think we'll only get a few on YouTube at a time. But on here, it's absolutely flying, you know, across all the platforms. And that's all we want, isn't it, Gary? You know, like we like coming on, a little bit of crack.
A little bit of banter.
Ultimately, all what it's about. Everton at home. Someone had one too many fine wines, apparently. I can imagine the IQ of fake United supporter struggling with login details. But it is when you didn't save it. I very rarely use this, to be fair, just for these. I see you've got your coat on. It's cold where, man, you are. Me heat as in shed, Millie. Gary, you can back us up how cold it is, and yeah.
All right.
Next to us and now. It's never been off for 3 weeks. And it's
Millie, do you share that?
What?
I've got a sweater. I'm doing my underpants underneath the table.
All right, so just to quickly touch on it. I mean, I'll have a look quickly at who Sunderland is playing this weekend as well. But Blythe Spartans have got a new manager. Dougie Forborn's the assistant coach there. I hope that goes well for them. I'm not sure how Ashington's been doing, like, but this weekend
they're doing well.
They're doing well.
They've picked up a few wins. I'm sure they won again at the weekend.
Nicky Gray, is it Nicky Gray the manager?
I think so.
Motive. He'll get solidarity there. Like he's good at what he does. Sunderland are away to Millwall. That's going to be a hard game for them. And Middlesbrough are away to Oxford. Sunderland's obviously still top of the league, but joint top now, 31 points them and Sheffield United. And Middlesbrough are sitting just outside of the playoffs on 24 points. So they're doing all right. You know what I mean? It's we've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 teams in the top 8 in the championship from the north. You know, if we could get 3 of them, it would be absolutely fantastic. Ruud van Nistelrooy has applied for the Coventry job.
Apparently, Lampard's getting it though, has he not?
He's apparently supposed to be friends with the family, isn't he?
Van Nistelrooy shouldn't be getting there. He's proved at Man United. He's come in after Ten Hag. he's picked up that team and like people say, no, he just set up the same. It might look like 4-3-3, but it wasn't set up the same at all.
No.
Was it?
He unleashed the players, didn't he?
He did, but like it wasn't like the high press. It was like either was sitting lower and wait for the team to come forward, and then we were hitting them. It was totally different, but like effective. And we've never scored as many goals all season. In fact, he probably scored more goals in them 3 games than what we had for the season up until that point.
He did. He scored more goals in 3 games than we have all season. But you could see the difference, like in the players. They were just a little bit more confident. Like they were at it. They were wanting to play power again, Gary. You know what I mean? So they've got it in them. I just hope this kid comes in and he's not like, and he gets on the side, and he gets them all still in the same pot, so to speak.
We said this, didn't we, Melly? And the difference is this time is that the company that's employed this coach is their choice. So now it'll be the players that's leading. If he gans in, he says he's not listening, he's a shit arse, he's a shit arse. Get them, I want them gone, and they'll be like, right, you're the teacher in the class. Go out. You're gone, mate. Sorry, he doesn't want you.
I think when he come in,
what happened to City, didn't it?
Aye. When Ruud left, it was starting up, like people were thinking, like getting rid of Ruud after that. But you have to bring your own people in. Like when you're taking a job of that magnitude, you've got to bring who you trust in. And Ruud isn't gonna want to be an assistant. He thought he was getting the job, and when he didn't get the job, he wants to manage, man.
Well, because if you read into it, like that Romano and everyone said in the summer, didn't they? Obviously, Liverpool went after Amaron. I think that I've said this to you. I think because I think Radcliffe and that had already planned to sack Ten Hag before their FA Cup final, and it was in the mainstream. It was in the mainstream that was the crack, and all the fans. I think it was the fans that got him to keep his job for them extra few months. I honestly believe that Amaron had already signed a contract or an agreement to become the new Man United manager, and that's why he turned Liverpool down. They went back to him, and I think they've said is look, as soon as he messes up or he's out, the job is yours. Just sit tight, sort of thing. And I think it's just the way it looks. Because otherwise, he would have took Liverpool, wouldn't he? Surely.
Aye, you would. Aye,
you would have.
But was Arnie Slot not already lined up, because they seem to get that done quite quick as well, and Klopp said that he was leaving. I think he was in for Liverpool before, like
maybe
it's in the paper that he turned them down, but it's also in the paper that West Ham decided not to go for him.
For Amaron.
Aye. Different now, what to believe, do you know what I mean?
No.
Look, I think come what is it now? We've probably got four games before November's out. By the beginning of December, we'll have a playing style, and we'll see where we're at. You're not gonna I'm not saying after 4 games you're gonna we're gonna win them all and we're gonna be like flying. But what I'm saying is we'll have some kind of identity again. That's what I believe this man's gonna bring. That's why they've waited for him. He didn't leave Sporting for any reason. Like he had everything he needed. He was getting paid well. He's winning leagues. He's loved by fans. He's loved by players. He's loved by the hierarchy. Why would you leave that? He believes in himself. You know what I mean? So much so that he ended his professional football career to become a manager because he thought he was going to be a better manager than he ever was a player. And so far, he's been fit. So Gallen said he thinks he'll be back by February and he'll be 4th bottom. I don't know how it's kind of good for them. I think Ashgarn are struggling, says Billy Noble.
They have been. I'm sure they've picked up a couple of wins.
300k a week, says Billy Noble. But it was only last week our leads on here, well, apart from Billy, were asking for Eddie Howe out. You know, like it's a results-based business, isn't it? 1 week you're king of the hill, next week you're
It is. That's the way it is. But when you're paying money to go and watch entertainment, which is what it's meant to be, that's what you expect to see. And you want to see people trying. They're meant to be the best at that job, and that's why they get paid all that money. And now people will have like an off day on that, and you accept that, but not like 4, 5, 6 games where like it just doesn't look like they're trying. Like you kind of, it's hard to accept that as a fan, I think. And then it rubs off on the manager, and ultimately he's the one at the end of the day. But I mean, the Newcastle owners, they obviously have stuck by Eddie, because I mean he has been through some like hard times at the team now. But then look, they've stuck with him. He's turned the corner, and like he's blown a good few teams away.
He overachieved, didn't he, in his first season when he got them out of the relegation, then into the Champions League. He overachieved. Mm-hmm. That's not where Newcastle should have been. And because they got there and they've seen the lights, the likes of this man here, Eddie out, Ruud in, like he's a prime example of fickle fan. Like mental. They want to move every weekend. Geordie Toon for life saying, so now you admit Ten Hag had no playing style. You admit it now because he's left. No, mate. Ten Hag did have a playing style. He just didn't have the players to play that playing style. Like the under 21s and the under 18s were absolutely flourishing with that same playing style.
But I think that comes.
Look at Ajax, they won everything, man. You know what I mean?
I think
go on and prove everybody right.
He will, but he was at heads and luggers with players, because it was. I think it's an arrogance thing. Like if he get in and you try and get on with people and you're likable and like you speak to people the right way, he just doesn't come across like he's that kind of bloke. He comes across like a school teacher, where it's like my way, and he's like, nah, you're doing this or you're out. Like I think in professional football, especially these days, I think like you need to approach it a little bit better, and I think that's what the new manager will do.
Yeah, Geordie Toon for life. It's a minority of fans online who have fake names and probably Manx wanting how out. No, mate. This guy here, Martin Gallen, he's got a box at Newcastle, man. He's a Geordie through and through. The man, you should see them in my WhatsApp group. As soon as you start getting beat, Eddie out. Eddie's only there because I told him to sit Longstaff back into the start 11. And look what has happened since I told him. He's right what he's saying. Gallen's right. Yeah, Longstaff players. The win, like he wears his heart on his sleeve. He bleeds black and white. That's the kind of players that you need in your squad. So he will literally leave everything on the field. That's what Newcastle's got. You cannot look at Newcastle and look at their team and go, wow, they've got some min players. Like they've got decent players. I'm not saying they haven't. They've got decent players, but they're not like like top A-class players. But what they have got is, and this starts from Eddie Howe, is they've got a togetherness in the mix with the crowd, they interact with the crowd, they allow war flags to put on mint displays, which gets the players bouncing. Like they've got a togetherness. They're all willing to go out and do what Eddie Howe has told them to do. None of them think, well, you're shit, so I'm not doing that. That's what they've got, and that's how they're really fair. That's what I think, anyway. Geordie Toon for life. Melly bought 20 players, for fuck's sake. It was his team, no excuses. Mate, to be fair, a lot of the signings weren't his. A lot of them weren't his. Some of them were his, but not for the price. They paid the Man United tax, shitting themselves, bought players in. Anthony, 85 million. Ten Hag wanted to pay 30 million for him. You put that price tag on people, then you've got 76,000 people every week expecting you to be absolutely outstanding. The pressure is absolutely immense. But
Melly, remember he did get them out of change to his agency as well.
Aye,
which is a different story.
He's gone new.
He is. It's the past.
The Ruben era. It's the Ruben Reds.
It is
on for an hour and 4, and I'm not leaving because of this message. But Leanne Bonds, I'm a celeb, is starting in 10 minutes. And I've ordered our super, so wrap it up.
Yes.
You like I'm a Celeb?
I do. I'm going to watch it now.
Who you gone for? I think Melbourne's going to win it.
Who?
Melbourne. You seen Melbourne?
Aye. Off Radio
How will
1.
win it?
Do you reckon?
Calvin or Danny?
I'm on the fence at the minute. I think Danny, is that him from McFly?
Aye.
I think he's a likable fella, right? Aye.
I'll tell you what it is. They're gonna blast that lass every night on the.
You can't say that.
Yeah, she's gonna be doing the what do you call it every night because there's a little shitty on.
Barry McGuinn's like that, isn't
he? He is. He's like what? Stevie Wonder. 5402. 15 minutes later. What's the more? 5402. Right. Thanks everybody for joining us. We're ending with 154 people online on this. What do you call it? That's excellent. We broke our record. Can't wait to see what numbers
next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. 7 o'clock.
It.
We'll look back on the fixtures just gone, and we'll look forward to the weekend after, and also the Champions League. See you, lads. See you, Gallon. See you later, pal.
See you later,
Billy. Cheers, lads. Thanks very much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. See you later, Gary, lads.
Yes. Ta-da.
Yeah.